Beneath the watch of a silent, silver moon, a mist-shrouded forest holds its breath. Here, among the ancient trees, where fog clings to the earth like a ghostly blanket, faint lanterns glow with an otherworldly light. For centuries, the soil has kept a secret, a treasure so vast, it shaped the very course of history. But secrets, like ghosts, rarely stay buried forever. Now, as the shadows of long-forgotten soldiers fade into the night, a golden gleam pierces the darkness. The question is no longer if it'll be found, but who will claim it first. A clue, lost 4 generations, has been rediscovered. Look closer. Here, under the flickering lantern light, a partially burned map reveals its secrets. Mysterious markings, once invisible, now glow with an arcane energy. Imagine the scene, generations ago. A stormy night, rain lashing down, lightning splitting the sky. Wary soldiers, their faces etched with fear and desperation, hastily buried chests filled with gold. They swore an oath, sealed in the mud and fury of the storm, to protect Italiano. But the pact was broken, the location lost, and the story turned to legend. Until now, the hunt begins tonight. In a dusty, forgotten attic, bathed in the soft light of a late afternoon sun, a young historian named Alex Jameson stumbles upon a relic of his family's past, a weathered leather-bound journal belonging to his great-great-grandfather, a Union soldier. As he carefully turns the fragile, yellowed pages, a folded piece of parchment slips out. It's a map, not just any map, but a hand-drawn chart of the very forest we just witnessed. Its landmarks, eerily familiar. The markings, they're identical. A jolt, like an electric current, runs through him. The family stories he dismissed as folklore were real. This wasn't just a map, it was a legacy. The journal tells a harrowing tale. It's the final days of the Civil War. A rogue Union cavalry unit, tasked with transporting a massive payroll of freshly minted gold coins, decides to seize their own destiny. Fearing the war's uncertain outcome and disillusioned by their commanders, they diverted from their route deep into the uncharted wilderness of the Appalachian foothills. Their plan was simple: bury the gold, wait for the chaos to settle, and return as wealthy men. The journal entry, penned in a frantic, hurried script, speaks of a pact. Each of us holds a piece of the key, his ancestor wrote. Only together can the lock be turned, but trust is a currency more fleeting than gold. The words are a chilling premonition. The unit was torn apart by greed and paranoia. A betrayal, swift and brutal, left only a few survivors, each scattering to the winds. Their knowledge of the treasure's location fractured and incomplete. The gold was abandoned, cursed by the blood spilled over it. Alex feels a palpable connection to this story, a pull towards the past he can't ignore. The air in the attic grows thick, heavy with the weight of this revelation. The soft creak of the floorboards sounds like a whisper from the past, urging him on. He can almost hear the faint, rhythmic thumping of his own heart, a drumbeat counting down to an unknown destiny. He spreads out the map, his fingers tracing the faded ink. Alongside it, he lays out old letters, their cursive elegant yet strained, speaking of coded messages and furtive meetings. He finds a small pouch containing a single, gleaming gold koina double eagle. Its weight a solid, tangible link to the stolen fortune. Each artifact is a puzzle piece, each name mentioned in the journal a potential lead, but his ancestor's final entry sends a shiver down his spine. I fear what we have unleashed. We drew a map not to treasure, but to our own ruin. Follow it, at your peril. The journey begins. Alex's first stop is the local historical society, a quiet repository of the region's secrets. He pores over archived newspapers, property deeds, and century-old photographs, his lantern-lit map, his constant gut. He's looking for names from the journal, for any trace of the other soldiers. He finds one, Sergeant Elias Vance. A faded photograph shows a man with haunted eyes and a grim, set jaw. An accompanying article mentions Vance purchased a large, isolated tract of land right after the war, the very land marked on Alex's map. But the story takes a dark turn. Vance became a recluse, obsessed with protecting his property from unseen threats. He died under mysterious circumstances, his land sold off and divided over the years. The trail seems to go cold, but Alex notices something, a symbol etched into the corner of Vance's property deed. It's a Masonic compass, identical to one of the strange markings on his map. It wasn't just a landmark, it was a message. His research leads him to an old, abandoned church on the outskirts of what was once Vance's land. The journal mentioned it as a secret meeting point. The structure is dilapidated, its steeple leaning precariously, windows like vacant eyes. Inside, dust motes dance in the slivers of light piercing the gloom, prying up a loose floorboard near the altar, exactly where the journal hinted. Alex finds not gold, but a small, lead-lined box. His heart pounds as he opens it. Inside is another journal, this one belonging to Sergeant Vance. His entries are paranoid, filled with cryptic verse and frantic warnings. He writes of a guardian left to protect the treasure, and of a second key hidden where the river weeps. It's another layer of the puzzle, more complex and dangerous than he imagined. Vance wasn't just a recluse, he was a gatekeeper, and his journal is a test for anyone who follows. Following Vance's poetic clue, where the river weeps, Alex finds himself at a small, secluded waterfall cascading over a rock face covered in moss. The place feels sacred, untouched by time. He scours the area, his boots sinking into the damp earth. Tucked away in a small crevice behind the curtain of water, wrapped in oilcloth, is the second key. It's not a key at all, but a complex cipher wheel, a brass device used for cryptography during the war. This is the lock his great-great-grandfather wrote about. The pieces of the key weren't map fragments, but codes held by different soldiers. His ancestor had one part of the code, Vance had another. The cipher wheel is the device needed to bring them together. As Alex aligns the wheels, matching symbols from both journals, a series of coordinates emerge. It's a precise location, deep within the forest. He's closer than ever, but he's not alone. While researching at the Historical Society, a quiet, observant woman had taken note of his intense focus on the Civil War cavalry unit. Her name is Lena, and she's a descendant of another soldier from the same company. Her family has its own piece of the legend, a different story of betrayal, and a different fragment of the code passed down through generations. She has been on this hunt for years, hitting the same dead ends as Alex. Seeing his map and journal, she realizes their stories are two sides of the same coin. She approaches him not as a rival, but as a potential ally. "That treasure destroyed our families once," she says, her voice steady. "Maybe the only way to break the curse is to find it together." A fragile alliance is formed, born of shared history and mutual necessity. They're no longer just descendants, they are partners. Together, Alex and Lena venture into the forest, the coordinates from the cipher wheel guiding their way. The deeper they go, the more the woods seem to press in on them. The silence amplifying every snapped twig, every rustle of leaves. The landscape matches the old map perfectly, but it also feels wrong. They find strange carvings on trees, symbols that aren't on the map, and remnants of old traps' rusted metal jaws hidden beneath the forest floor. It becomes clear that Sergeant Vance's paranoia was not unfounded. He had turned the entire forest into a maze of deterrents, a gauntlet to protect the gold from his former comrades, or anyone else who might come looking. The suspense is unbearable. Every shadow seems to hold a threat. Every gust of wind sounds like a warning. They are walking into a trap set over a century ago. The coordinates lead them to a rocky outcrop overlooking a ravine. There, half hidden by overgrown vines, is the entrance to a small, natural cave. This has to be it. As they prepare to enter, a figure emerges from the trees. It's a man, rugged and weathered, holding a modern GPS device. He introduces himself as a collector of historical artifacts, claiming to have been tracking the legend of this lost gold for years. He offers to help, to share his resources, but his eyes betray a cold, calculating ambition. Alex and Lena are wary. Is he a fellow enthusiast or a competitor who has been shadowing them all along? This treasure hunt has just gained another player, and the stakes have been raised impossibly high. With a potential threat at their backs and an unknown danger waiting in the cave ahead, they stand at a precipice. Every clue has led them here, to this moment of truth. But they can T-shake the feeling that every step closer to the gold is also a step closer to a trap waiting to spring. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey. This is only the beginning of the hunt. What lies inside that cave? And what is the true motive of the mysterious collector? Make sure you resubscribed and have notifications turned on, because you will not want to miss part 2. Hit that like button if you're as excited as we are, and we'll see you in the next episode.